Alright. Okay, so we're doing something a little bit different. Though visual novel-esque, but it's like bigger than that. I got sent this game through my email by Miss Angel Food. It's a series of comics and whatnot. As y'all can see here, I'll just read this part. Miss Angel Food presents her serialized superhero smut, more than 30 short comics, shorts, comics, novels, and video games featuring superheroes, tentacles, monsters, and lots of muscular men in tight spandex. Use this code, review for Miss Angel Foods 2025, to download any of these Edge City Hero books, comics, or games for free, including image packs, behind the scenes, and extras. I do have one already downloaded. I don't plan on obviously playing all of these now in this one video. I will play at least one. Well, I'll play one just so y'all get like, you know, an idea of what it's all about. And if y'all want to play more, of course, I will link everything below. I just want this. It's not fully out yet. If I'm reading that right. But yeah, I was like, oh, I'm playing it. I mean, maybe I'll turn it into a series. And from this video, I'll kind of try and estimate how long it takes me to get through one. If it's not long, then, you know, we can maybe make it a series. Every like adult visual novel I read, I guess I can dedicate a part of it to this as well. I'm deciding, but of course, if y'all want to read this, of course I'll link this in the description. But we will get to the actual what I'm going to read, which is, let me see, I gotta find it. Okay, which is actually Edge City Heroes Doppelganger forearm fantasy. What excites him is your fantasy. I Miss Angel Foods, of course. But we'll make it bigger so y'all can actually see. So yeah, I couldn't really make this what you call it. I'm gonna see if I can maybe put this in dark mode, just so it's easier on my eyes, because I don't have like those fancy blue light glasses. Okay, I don't think I can, but regardless, we're gonna get into this and hopefully y'all enjoy. Alright, we'll read this real quick, skim it. Characters' events portrayed in this book are fictionists, of course. Everything's fiction. All characters over 18, nothing weird. Alright. Edge City is an alternate world with advanced technology and superpowers. Characters in this world do not need to use condoms for safety. However, in world, condoms save lives. Always suit up. Always protect yourself, no matter what. We'll make this a bit bigger. You see the image. It says, hello, my lovely readers. You look ready to have some quality time with a good story. As you can see, I perfected the art of reading one-handed. You never know what you might need the other for. This is another tale from the erotic world of Edge City. How do these spandex-clad boys find themselves in such situations? I'll never know. Otherwise, I'd be with them right now. Pour yourself a drink, cut a slice of cake, get comfortable. You're in Miss Angel Food's hands now. Love, Miss Angel Food. P.S. Read to the end to get a gift. Get a free gift. If you can last that long. So, what we will do is we'll just get into the story. Alright. Doppelganger number 1, forearm fantasy. Grant sat at the bar trying not to think about all the destruction from that day. The bar was dark and almost empty, just the way he liked. Warm, watered down beer seemed most suited for a place like this. No one would recognize him here. He was too famous for the big clubs on Hero Avenue, popular among the young and hot. Everyone there knew he was the best. Best fucking Edge City. It wasn't obvious by looking at him. He had an average build, one he kept hidden under baggy clothes. He didn't have the huge muscles associated with superheroes, and yet when the big bads attacked, he was the first one called. Doppelganger to the rescue. He swallowed a tart beer. It might take 15 to 20 of these to get him drunk. And the first one down was a challenge. That day, he and the heroic crusaders vanquished a vile base outside the city. As Doppelganger, Grant punched his way through the side of a mountain base so that he could infiltrate from the rear. It was a brilliant plan, but left Grant in the form of a giant Sasquatch creature, not exactly a standard sexual fantasy. This was his curse. He used to be a scientist working at Bondage Industries to cure temptation, a way to avoid distractions and focus on important things without thinking about sex all the time. After that freak experiment years ago, the serum he was working on accidentally got injected into him. Now every erection meant becoming the object of another person's fantasy. Where it was, their libido desire any shaped creature or object he transformed into until they were satisfied. Grant never found out how he got contaminated with the serum, but it resulted in turning him into the master of all temptation, the Doppelganger. It made it challenging to know what he wanted. Sex always became about the other person, and to say he didn't enjoy it himself, though some fetishes were more fun than others. Still, it would be nice for once to be with another person just as himself, but that was impossible as long as his powers were controlled by his erections. When he first got his powers, the thrill of discovery made him go out every night. He went to those big clubs and found some willing participant to reveal their deepest desires, whether they knew them or not. He would go back to their apartment or to a hotel room. Often it would get started at the club. The moment he got hard, he would transform. Everything from his clothing to his... Okay. The power didn't work on himself. Just thinking about all those wild nights got him a little excited. Sweat collected on the back of his neck and he craved at least an ice cube in his beer. "Can I buy you another?" asked a voice from over his shoulder. It came from a man, tall and handsome, with a little dimple on his, not on, but in his chin. "I'm good," Grant said, holding up his almost empty glass. Before a mission, the superhero Cruiser would fluff Grant into his monster form. He and Cruiser had hooked up years before. This was how he discovered this powerful Sasquatch creature he turned into. But years of superheroics had become routine, and even Cruiser seemed to have psyched himself up before giving Grant a good fondling. Cruiser wasn't a big guy compared to the other heroes, more nimble and good with his hands. He could slip his fingers down Grant's pants with a single motion, then navigate his fingers into his underwear and take hold of... Okay. Cruiser knew Grant's triggers. Kissing the neck, twisting the nips, and no more Grant. Just Doppelganger. It used to be after the missions, Cruiser and Grant would finish things off together in celebration of a job well done. Otherwise, Grant would stay in that form until Cruiser... Alright. Recently, Cruiser had found a boyfriend and claimed he could get Grant started, but not finish him off. Grant had to wait several hours until Cruiser would meet up with his boyfriend. Not exactly the glamorous life of a superhero. He wondered if he would ever meet someone who just wanted him, not his power. "You've been here before," the guy sat at the neighboring stool. "I'm Travis." Travis. Grant sipped his beer to avoid answering. He felt a twinge between his legs. It made him nervous, though self-excitement didn't trigger any transformation. Small favors. "I know the owner," Travis said. "They don't water it down when I order." He signaled the bartender and held up 2 fingers. Bartender fished 2 bottles from a cooler and passed them across the counter. Grant took the beer, smelling the fresh hops, his finger numb from the cold bottle, and he wanted to rub it against the back of his neck. "Thanks." "He speaks." Travis held his arms up in surprise. "Not look for anything," Grant said. Travis leaned in close. He had a hint of a stuttle on his cheek and smelled of Old Spice. Then why drink at a shit bar like this? Grant looked away, trying to peer through the brown bottle. He spent every night after a mission at some dive bar. The last place he wanted to be was alone in his apartment, but he didn't want to be anywhere where he couldn't be recognized. Where he could be recognized. There was something therapeutic about being around people who didn't want anything from him. Nosy neighbors, Grant said. Ah. Travis raised his eyebrows. Huh? How's it? What type of question is that? Grant hadn't expected a follow-up question to his lie. Probably. Could always get them back. Travis winked. Grant slid his stool to the side. Did this guy recognize him? Where else would this random guy be talking to him? Maybe he just wants to make conversation. Too forward. Travis leaned in, clasping his beer with both hands. You just seem like you could use a friend. I'm fine. Grant could usually tell when someone wanted to fill their wildest fantasies with him. They got an intense glint in their eyes. Travis looking down, his eyes out of view. That day at work? I hear you. Travis took a sip. Best cure for a bad day is a good night. He was clearly flirting. Maybe this meant he was interested in Grant and not in fulfilling a fantasy. It had been a long time since he'd been hit on by someone who didn't know who he was. The bar was pretty empty, but the offer was nevertheless flattering. Maybe some other time, Grant said. Alright. Travis turned and sipped his beer. He remained on the stool, though he dropped his other hand to his crotch, covering himself. Grant tried to look away, but found this oddly teasing, like he wanted to know what was under that hand. Travis spread his fingers over his bulge. Grant kept staring. I can leave, Travis said. Grant swallowed. It's fine. You want me to stay? Travis spread his legs apart. Grant anticipated a quiet night alone. Maybe this innocent encounter was what he needed. He didn't know what he would turn into, but at least it happened naturally and not because he was a superhero. Charles poked his tongue against his cheek. It'd be 10 minutes in the bathroom. And okay. Oh, he said Doppelganger. He knows. Yeah. Fuck. This guy knew who Grant was. So much for anonymity. Grant's heart sunk, as this was an encounter just like any other. Someone wanted to use him to get them off. This was about Doppelganger, not him. You don't want anyone to know it's you, Travis said, sneering. So let me go for a ride. I always had a thing for superheroes. Grant sighed. Doesn't work like that. Travis put a hand on Grant's thigh. How does this work? How does it work? Grant was a fast riser, downside of his power. Travis' hand knew what it was doing and moved its way upward, sending tingles up his body. Travis had thick lips that would know what to do. Tonight'd still be better than a night alone. Just once, Grant said. Travis' hand coiled around. Okay. Professional dexterity. In a minute or so, Grant would transform into the object of this guy's wildest fantasies. That couldn't happen in the middle of the bar. Quick bathroom. Grant hoped he didn't turn into a giant tentacle monster or something else that would destroy the building. It had happened before. Okay. Travis led Grant to the bathroom using... And somehow no one notices this. Okay. There were only 6 others in the bar, all dunking themselves into their drinks and not paying attention to 2 guys going to the bathroom together. That's why. Okay. They entered and Travis locked the door. There was a pale yellow light in the bathroom that offered a spooky glow, almost like a candlelight. The rest was as dingy as a dive bar bathroom should be. The smell of brackish water, stains on the floor and walls. This was still better than going to one of their apartments. Better to keep this quick and quiet. Travis slammed Grant against the wall, leaning body to body, grinning like he was about to scarf down a full stash of Halloween candy. How does it work? Travis asked, his hot breath grazing Grant's cheeks. His hand slid down Grant's chest, poking at the buttons of his shirt. Think about what you want, Grant said. Then turn me on. Turn you on. Grant grabbed Travis' collar and pulled him in for a hard kiss. This was the step everyone skipped, going right for... Okay. But Grant liked being kissed, and Travis had really kissable lips that pressed back with force. Little foreplay while he was still himself was a luxury Grant didn't want to give up. Travis separated for a moment. I get it. He launched his tongue down Grant's throat, tasting up to cheap gin and cheaper beer. That tongue knew what to do. It started getting Grant's in the mood. Fingers teased Grant's nips over his shirt. Travis moves his lips to Grant's neck, a key trigger point. Mouth and tongue worked in tandem, traveling just above the collarbone and leading to a rise inside Grant's pants. Grant's shirt ripped. Transformation had begun. Travis was committed to giving his hickey, but Grant grew almost a foot taller. His muscles multiplied, his hair coiffed itself, or coiffed. His clothes dissolved as silver spandex that clung to his new ripped body, and he grew 2 extra arms. Doppelganger caught a glimpse in the mirror. He was well over 7 feet tall, costumed almost like a superhero power play, with 4 muscular arms. So like a centaur? Not centaur, but I can't think of the name. Travis said, bag wide and wide jawed. Fuck me, I didn't think that would work. Doppelganger lifted all his arms, his eyes controlling a new set of limbs, like trying to wake up a foot that had fallen asleep. Whatever you want, I become. His own erection bolstered the spandex, traveling down his abs, even his... Okay. Grew a couple inches. How long does it last? Charles asked, looking at his lips, equally eager to get started. Until I get you off. Then let's get started. Travis launched into Doppelganger, though he wasn't tall enough to reach the neck. Said he kissed Doppelganger's spandex covered chest, focusing on nipples and using his dexterous tongue to wake all the nerves. Doppelganger wasn't sure where to put all his hands. He sensed his partner's desire. It came with the transformation, but acting on it felt unnatural. His bottom 2 hands cupped Travis' entire ass easily, his other 2 remained stretched to the side, not ready to join the fun. Travis' efforts caused Doppelganger's... Okay. As much as Doppelganger avoided these encounters, once he got into it, he did enjoy himself. It was a new body to experience, with new erroneous zones, new cravings and fetishes. He could find someone to love for him another time. For now, he wanted to... Okay. Harold slid a hand down Doppelganger's erection, pressing it over the spandex. His fingers seemed to take particular joy in playing with the fabric, using it to stimulate. Okay. I'm just reading now. Y'all can, read with me a little bit. Also, I might also just take my face out of it. I don't know. Well, that's like a crazy power. Okay. He tugged at the spandex as if he was digging for buried treasure. Aimed upward like a missile. 12. I mean, that'd be crazy as hell to walk into the bathroom and see that. See, this was the fantasy the guy wanted. 4-armed superhero to dominate him. Doppelganger was obligated to oblige. His normal persona was more vanilla. He just wanted a guy to have fun with. When Trinity transformed, every kink and fetish was possible, and it never felt weird because he was himself weird. Had forearms was one of the more normal forms he'd taken. It was time to test drive all the possibilities. Yeah, he let Travis blow him a bit longer, warm, soft mouth caressing his full shaft. Further built up, Doppelganger pulled away and said, "Okay." This is crazy. Since he's over 7 feet tall and they're in the bathroom of a bar, I'm assuming he's over the stall. I don't know. I don't know. Kinda gotta use your imagination. But My mic was muted, but basically his arms folded to himself, muscles weighing, his clothes didn't necessarily like go back to normal, but normal. Travis stared at Grant with wide, disbelieving eyes. Can you turn anything else? So there would. This was a one-time thing, Grant said. It won't work again. That was a lie, but one he needed to tell to keep those one-night stands from tracking him down. I don't know if I could take another ride. Charlie's been over. Oh, okay. Alright. I think you'll be fine. Grant remained on the opposite end of the bathroom, though there wasn't much space between them. He still felt like moving an extra set of arms that no longer existed. Been fun. Tara stepped forward and grabbed Grant by the chin, giving him a wet kiss on the lips, then left the bathroom. Grant sat on the toilet waiting until he could be sure Travis had left. Transforming and he took a lot out of him. He felt lightheaded. Okay. Finally, he left the bathroom. The bar smelled worse, a surprising feat. A spilled pitcher of beer was drying in the corner. Grant took his jacket and tied it over the hole in his pants and exited the bar into the cold night. Okay. So he still feels after the fact. Alright. Grant wandered home, stopping at the convenience store on his corner. It was late, and while he was tired, he wanted something for himself before bed. Ice cream. As much as he hated the holier-than-thou superhero power plays, pistachio was a great flavor. He stumbled toward the freezer, now looking around, but navigating off Sid's memory. He reached inside, the door already open, freezing air flooded against him. As he hovered over the ice cream, another hand met his. A guy stood beside him, also reaching for power play pistachio. He had thick eyebrows that better resembled mustaches, a strong yet sweet face, and a bulky jacket, though hiding broad shoulders and a trim waist. You take it, the guy said, offering an awkward smile, his mouth tilting at an angle. Grant really wanted the ice cream. After the day he had from the mission to the bar, he wanted to curl up alone with something decadent and selfish. No, you. The guy widened his smile. It was so sweet and innocent, and it made Grant's heart speed up. The guy raised a pint of ice cream. Can we share? Grant wasn't sure what that meant. He didn't really want to eat a whole pint in the front of someone. That was best done in private. Got to get back? No problem, the guy said. I think you need this more than me. He shoved the ice cream into Grant's hands. Grant looked at the pint, then at the guy, and something melted. The smile on the stranger's face was so warming. Grant worried he would have to sneak it into the freezer just to settle his temperature. He never felt mesmerized by someone like this. Disguise it wasn't what Grant normally dealt with. This is a normal, cute, ice cream loving guy. They have spoons up front, Grant said, pointing toward the cashier. The guy's smile seemed to brighten even more. Grant had made someone happy. It didn't require his appendage. Sounds good. You are? The guy said. Grant. I'm Sean. It's nice to meet you. There's more. Your review, subscribe to the newsletter. Now that class is finished, it's time for homework. I promise this will be more fun, especially if you're naughty. Leave a review. It's best to introduce essays to new readers. Subscribe to the newsletter. You'll get free stories, artwork, and a titillating updates fit to print. And follow on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and read more Miss Angel Food at what will be linked below. Other books to have are Power Play, Alleyway Reward, Edge City's Greatest Hero Discovers His Greatest Fantasy. And I promise it doesn't look like this. It looks better on, the website and whatnot. I'm pretty sure it looks better if I'm not so zoomed in, but, yeah. Power Play is the strongest superhero in the world. He's a dominating force wherever he does. After stopping a robbery, Power Play receives an unexpected thank you, but the encounter raises new feelings about how much he dominates and if he would prefer a different role. Gymnast, tentacle capture. Creature just wants a taste. Tired of being just a sidekick, Gymnast investigates an odd match from a dating app. This leads him to a hidden laboratory where an alien creature shows him what tentacles are really for. World code. You superheroes have first times, you're really in the shower. Moral code from a different time. An accident transported him to the future where he must learn new rules. He's lived according to what he thought was right until he finds two sidekicks having fun in the shower. They invite him to join in. He's never been with a man before, let alone two, but these superheroes in training promise to show him how it's done. Metalsmith experiments on the bodyguard. The technology beats touch. This one I thought was interesting because, it looked like, judging the cover. Patrick has been running security at simulation headquarters for years, but he has never met their exclusive CEO until now. Patrick expects to be fired or promoted, but instead gets a proposition he has prepared for. Textile spandex suit capable of creating any sensation on the body. Patrick doesn't know why he was chosen for this experiment, but he's eager to impress his handsome boss and hopeful about what it might lead to. And I think... Alright, so my thank you. You can download a free alternate cover that's as steamy as this story. You the pastor and meet you. You get all this after I read this part about Miss Angel Food. Miss Angel Food came to our world from a place where all fetishes are possible, and it was a return to her dimension. She wonders how people live without tentacles and superpowers in their daily sex lives. She started recruiting men to share in her creation of the Edge universe, bringing fantasies to life through art and story. She considers it her gift to humanity. Miss Angel Food lives with her growing harem of male models. And that's Miss Angel Food. So, that being said, that is one of Miss Angel Food's mini comics, stories, and whatnot. So, I will include all of this in the description. You gotta check out. They also have the models and series up here in the store. You can download and use this code for free if you don't want to. You want to sample it, but I showed you a little bit, so if you are curious, of course, all that will be in the description below, and hopefully y'all enjoyed Miss Angel Foods. Which one did I play? Well, read. It was not that one. It was the Doppelganger series. So, hopefully y'all enjoyed. If not, you got this far. You definitely enjoyed if you got this far. But hopefully y'all enjoyed. If not, oh well. And yeah, you might see me playing this again. No, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all next.